Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we'll see Module 5 Fundamentals of Prototyping using Arduino boards. Lecture 5 Basics of Circuit Building and Soldering Work with the Arduino. As we see in the previous lecture, the use of shields, but not necessarily every time the shields are found easily available, though it is, but always making use of shield is not that worthy as concerning the cost of the project. But for a smaller circuits and sensor, one can easily make their shields for ready-made, or it can be also made by their own. The Arduino shields are easily to build, and the circuits and schematic can be found onto the internet very easily. The Arduino community circuits are made available for a user, even if the user can build his own Arduino by making a basic connections and implementing the basic circuit onto the breadboard. Or also we can make use of the general purpose board for making the connections via using different connectors and connecting wires. Few components needed to be built the circuits using breadboard or general purpose boards. Requirement: general purpose board or a PCB. If you wanted to make a printed circuit board, one need to have printer design onto the circuit. Soldering tools: typically the solder gun and soldering wire, few of the wires, cutter and electrical insulation tapes. It is very highly recommended no wire should be flying or kept open on the live circuit. So definitely the insulation tape is mandatory one in between the circuit kit. Many of times one may needs to connect several wires joined together and form a connections. Sometimes at the time of testing and prototyping, the wire joints may get broken. So in that case, the connection rebuilding can be carried out using the different tapes or soldering techniques utilization. Care should be taken that no wire should remain open or uninsulated. Make use of insulation tapes for a cable and over solder joints, or use insulation sleeve. One can make use of following soldering technique to have good conductivity and higher rate of proper connections. As you can see in the figure, the basic circuit building and soldering: heat the part and the pad of the PCB, add a solder, continue heat for few seconds and let go to cool. Don't blow the portion where you applied the solder. And as you can say, if you carried out these particular 4 steps, the perfect soldering can be achieved. But don't apply too much of solder excessively onto this connection lead or component lead. The second one shows that there is no enough solder is available, so the connection is made but it is not so longer stable and it could be broken easily. This could be a bubble if it is forming nearby to the lead onto the pad. This is called as a cold joint. It typically do not have a good electrical connection between the pad and the connecting lead. If you have excessive amount of heat drawn onto the pad nearby to the lead of the component, the heat will be produced and this may generate the flux generating from the particular material of soldering paste as well, which can cause a short in between the two neighboring leads of a same component or a different components. Specifically in while at this type of soldering the ICs onto the general purpose boards or boards onto the PCB, this care should be taken, which ensures that there will be no short circuit or there will be no kind of an loose connections or connectivity onto the boards what we made a design for a shield working with the original Arduino board. You can see the different figures in this particular screen where it is recommended that cut down the excessive wires and leads from the board. Typically use the connector breakthrough joints for making the wire connections with the two cable or multi cable wires, and extending them. And while handling this one need to hold with the proper crocodile clip connector, so which can have the different toolkits available onto his set, which will have one cutter, soldering stand, multimeter, solder wick, solder gun, and solder removal pump. Along with that, in this figure, one can make a general purpose board based circuit, smaller circuit, easily available over here in this diagram. Similarly, you can carry out your own circuit design for your application, and easy shields can be built by their own. For that, one need to have a basic understanding of soldering work and know the concept of soldering, as well as having a good practice onto soldering applications and making the different circuits onto the general purpose board, and understand the different terminologies of general purpose boards. Thank you.